Welcome to part 6 of the RevSim Virtual Coffee Break series. In this installment, we're going to talk a little bit about the aircraft design from an OSC case study. I'm Bob Farrell, together with Wolfgang Gintz and Alan Chalker. Wolfgang is with the UberCloud, and Alan is with the Ohio Supercomputer Center. I want to just tell you briefly about the RevSim website. Hope you take the opportunity to visit. It really does contain a wealth of information. If you get a chance to browse through, you'll see, in addition to HPC, a lot of other disciplines that fall under the RevSim democratizing simulation umbrella. You'll also see case studies, some success stories. You'll see these recordings of these webinars in case you've missed any. And just lots of information. I hope you'll also take the opportunity to register for the newsletter. You'll see some information about that. And at the end of this presentation today, Wolfgang will tell you a little bit more about the RevSim community. So with that, I'd like to just turn things over to Alan, and he's going to walk through the case study.
Hey, thanks, Bob. So I'd like to talk today about aircraft design app that has been produced on the OSC platform. One of our clients is a company called TotalSim US. They are experts in computational fluid dynamics using a variety of software packages. And they have designed a very slick web-based app on our platform that is called TS Aero. TS obviously stands for TotalSim. That does a variety of simulations, aerodynamics designed around air vehicles. And they've made this recently available and been refining it for a competition that's going on called GoFly. GoFly is one of these competitions where a whole bunch of teams are encouraged to enter, and there's millions of dollars in prizes to the winning design. The primary sponsor of GoFly is Boeing, but it's got a lot of other sponsors, including companies like Google. And the ultimate goal of this challenge is to design a viable personal aircraft that can take a single person many miles without taking up too much space and kind of revolutionize the next generation of air transport. So TotalSim took their TS Aero app and their expertise and customized it a bit for the purpose of the GoFly competitors, many of which aren't very, very sophisticated at all in this type of stuff, and they're just trying to come up with new designs. And as sponsors, both TotalSim and OSC are giving access to the competitors. TotalSim is subsidizing the cost of all the GoFly contestants to use computation on the systems. So each team can run 10 or a dozen simulations, which is thousands of dollars of value that they would have that many of them wouldn't be able to access any other way, or might have to go out in the field with scale models, things like that. As the competition has progressed, it's been winnowed down into, we'll say, teams that go on to additional phases and teams that kind of fall out of it. They've provided more and more access to these teams to refine this. You can see here on the right of the screen, this is an example of just a geometry that is just a generic plane that's been input into the TS Aero app. Again, the teams just have to create their geometry. They don't have to know too much about aerodynamic and computational fluid dynamics, because the app walks them through all the steps that are needed in terms of setting up the simulation, meshing it, coming up with different parameters of what you want to look at, and then reporting results of things like drag, lift, stuff like that. so that they can improve their designs and compare from one iteration to the next how it performed. The most interesting thing about this is that as these teams of, frankly, unsophisticated users have been hammering at the app, it's identified areas of improvement that TotalSim didn't really, they kind of had blinders on to because of the fact that they're experts in computational fluid dynamics, and many of their commercial clients are experts in computational fluid dynamics. So they've been able to see what makes it difficult for a novice to use and make tweaks and improvements to the application that'll provide benefits to others that are looking at designing aircraft or drones or things like that. So it really is the essence of the democratization, and that something that was pretty easy, we thought, to begin with, we've been able to refine even more based upon that feedback on there. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Wolfgang to talk a little bit more again about the RevSim website.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alan. As Alan already mentioned, you are very welcome to join our Revolution in Simulation community. And you can be any stakeholder in this community, doesn't matter at all. So we invite simulation consumers, meaning the engineers, the experts, the scientists, and together with your simulation providers, which is usually well-known software providers, the ones like ANSYS, Dassault, Siemens, etc. Then everybody from the academia who is especially involved, for example, in education or still being educated. You're very welcome. Industry analysts, which tell us about the trend of our market and where we go, where we move, and how we improve. And then certainly industry organizations like NAFEMS, ASES, and others, which collect experts in the field, organize conferences, and so on. And finally, the industry media, Digital Engineering, engineering.com, and other magazines. And join us here at RevSim. We are a bunch of moderators, volunteers, executives, sponsors, and we have a website team. So we are a complete ecosystem in ourselves, so to speak. Okay, with that, thank you very much. And this is our final slide. A big thank you to everybody. And this was Bob Farrell, Alan Chalker, and Wolfgang Gensch.